Whoa. I think I just figured something out, Beavis.
What?
This sucks.
Yeah, it really sucks.
What's up, guys? It's Kaiser. Oh boy, so up for a little bit of a model build today. I'm still a little under the weather, as you can probably tell from my voice. But overall, I'm actually not doing too bad. Figure as long as I'm here, stuck at the house, doing nothing to do, I might as well, get some model build going and just kind of continue where we left off on the 1/6 Aerith build. So, crack a tube. It's just cola today, so yeah. All right. Got a couple of things that I wanted to get done today. Might have to duck off screen for a little bit during one of them to do something. Oh, hey, what's up, Stingy? Hey, bud, how's it going? And yeah, just get going on this thing so I can try and get things started. So these pieces right here, I've got designated out for flesh tone color, which I've already got some pre-mixed here and here. They're roughly the same. So, and then I've got a whole bunch over here that are going to be for brown. These are just kind of miscellaneous. These two are for red over here. And then some more that are, these four up here are pink for Aerith's dress. So went ahead and there's the photo of what we're going off of, what it's going to look like when we're done. So yeah, going off just the standard color scheme and just going to try and color match that as best as I can. Did get another coat of primer, this time gray, on the Buster Sword. So that's already looking a lot better. Can't wait to finally start getting some of the steel colors on that one and start doing the detail work, because that one's going to be a lot of fun. And then thinking about putting some rust effects on that one, just because of the implication. And spoiler alert, if you've never played Final Fantasy VII, I might drop some of those. So I apologize. Might not even think about it. I know that there's the newer games out right now. I have not played the newer remakes. I've been wanting to. I've got the first one, Intergrade, but I don't have Rebirth yet. But that's kind of down the pipe sort of thing. Go ahead and get this pulled up here. So, yay, because I'm streaming live on both YouTube and on X today. So yeah, let's go ahead and let's do this thing. Okay. And let me go ahead and show the chat up here on my other screen. Again, apologizing. It sounds like I smoke 4 packs of Marlboros a day. But hey, y'all in chat, feel free to just send messages, chat, and I'd be happy to answer things. I mean, I sound worse than I feel. I'm actually not that bad. So I'm just one of those. I just didn't want to get anybody in my office sick today. So figured I would just be a nice guy for a change. But yes, you're also going to have to pardon the occasional clearing of the sinuses sound. So FYI. And to the 7 of you watching, thank you all for dropping on by. Mandy Pandy, how you doing? Good to see you. What are you building? So building the 1/6 scale model of the figure model of Aerith Gainsborough from Final Fantasy VII. So I ought to just go ahead and put that up on like a little thing in the background so everybody can see that's what we're building. So you've just got all the parts and pieces, and now we've already done the priming. So now we're going to actually get into the paint and get that started. Kind of clean that off a little bit there. I'm actually probably just going, since I don't need this right now, I'm probably just going to go ahead and stick that up in there in the corner. It's kind of a visual reference. move a few things around the old desk here real quick. I have to admit, it has been one of those where I got out of the model building stuff for quite a while, and then just recently got back into it. I did the first stream where I started putting this together, and I really enjoyed the heck out of it. And I was like, oh, hey, you know what? I actually want to do this more often. I need to actually get off my butt and start actually doing this again. Get my spray out pot there. And oh, hey, Brian, what's going on, my man? Happy to see you, dude. And say we need to chat or something again sometime, man. It's been too long. Anywho, think I've got everything already set up. Pardon if there's a little bit of background noise. Yes, because I know inevitably somebody's going to ask. Yes, I do have a ventilation system in here to keep the spray, stuff down. It's just not where you can clearly see it on camera. I have my microphone set up where it cuts out a lot of the background noise, so you can't hear it, but there's my fan, air conditioner, and the air system back there, so that way I don't asphyxiate on all those acrylic gases. But yeah, I know inevitably somebody's going to ask about it, so I figured I'd just go ahead and cut it off at the pass. So without further ado, let us get started. Oh yeah, and you might hear my compressor, which is right over here, kick on once in a while. Mandy, but you can still sit on your butt and do this. Yes, that is true. Yep, it has been a while. Hey, Miami Spice, good to see you. Fantastic. Solvent is worse than the acrylic. Yeah. What's the weird noise? It's annoying. I don't know what the weird noise you're hearing is specifically. I did check my audio, and I don't hear what it's. Yeah, I checked just a second ago. I didn't hear it behind you. So, all right. Oh yeah, and today's pro tip for budding artists with an airbrush: always remember to take the cap off of the end of your airbrush. Otherwise, you might do something really dumb like this, and yeah, shoot that across the room. Oh goodness. But yeah, I went ahead and made sure I cleaned everything out, got it all lubricated before the stream today, as opposed to like last time. Yeah, that was fun. Stingy, I was talking about your ventilation shit. You just explained to mess with you. I gotcha. Never change, Stingy. You'd still make me laugh. All right. And just kind of keeping an eye on chat. So I'll be able to see everything as I go ahead and start moving along. So this piece is going to be probably the most tricky. And the reason is that, so the bottom half of this right here, and that's really going to be hard for you to see, but this bottom half here is going to need to actually be pink, the same color as the dress. And then there's a couple of removable pieces here that are going to actually be sprayed over there. This part up here is going to be like the neckline. That's going to need to be like the flesh tone. And then back here, you're going to have to be red like the jacket. So what's going to have to happen is, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and just spray the portion up here to go ahead and do the flesh tone. And, whenever it actually comes time to do the pink and the red, what I can do is that I can actually just get some tape and we can tape this off. And I've got some special stuff, wherever the hell I put it. Yep, there we go. This masking compound to kind of help cover up any areas that we don't want covered with the wrong color, and so on and so forth. So this piece alone is going to require like 4 different stages of color. But what's going to be the most tricky is going to be the fact that, because it's just the one side of the torso, we're going to have to actually connect the 3 pieces of the torso together. Now, these are going to already be painted red for the jacket. And then what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to actually go in here because there's not the fitting is not great between these joints here. So I'm going to have to actually just paint that little bit of the one side, and then I'm going to have to go in and actually fill these cracks here with some of this putty. This is basically just kind of like a filler putty that's going to go in there and actually kind of keep everything from or it's just going to fill the cracks in, if you know what I mean. Hello. All right. Brian says, wife and I invested in an airbrush setup for Warhammer. Awesome, dude. You have to tell me what kind of airbrush you got and say, it's like I'm always, keen to see what everybody else is rocking on their setups. And then Stingy's not sexy body painting. That's funny. That's funny. Actually, I've got some new model kits on the way that we will be tackling after I get done with this one. They're still on their way from Hong Kong. No idea when they're going to finally get here. Usually takes about a month for them to get through customs and everything like that. But yeah. So I know that I've got 3 that are already, or it's like 2 that have already been shipped, and then 1 that is currently in pre-order status that should be here eventually. So yeah, I will keep you guys up to date on those, but I'm going to be painting them up the way that I usually do with some of my other ones, and those are a bit more of the sexy variety, but they're within reason. I have a kid, not going to do anything too crazy. All right. And Stingy says, you want to feel old, Kaiser? There's a 30th anniversary live stream of Space Ghost Coast to Coast going on YouTube now. Holy shit. 30th anniversary of Space Ghost Coast to Coast. God, I remember watching that series, like new episodes when that was on TV. I'm like, yeah, I turned 38 this year. I'm not happy about it. So that just drives the knife in a little further. Thanks. All right. So first things first, what we're going to do, I kind of want to test this color because I'm not sure exactly which one I want to go with 100% yet. Because it's hard to tell on the camera here, but this one here is just slightly darker than this one here. It's a very subtle difference. I'm almost thinking of going the slightly darker. It looks a little bit closer to the photo. Yeah, you know what? Screw it. I'm just going to go with that one. YOLO. I can tell that I mixed this one a while ago. I think I mixed the same color. Yeah, you can see a little bit there. Again, now I'm looking at it. It's actually darker than I thought. So, oh yeah, that's a much better comparison between the two. Actually, I'm going to go with my original choice. Okay. And there will be highlights and low lights that we do off of the same, based off the same color, later on. So right now we're just doing like kind of the flat base color. And I'm not going to use a lot because 1, I don't have very much, and 2, I'll need to make at least enough so I can color match this later. So kind of bearing that in mind, let me just dial in on here, put my cap back on. And actually, before I go any further, I need to put this down as kind of like a spot to protect my my desk from getting too much excess color on it. Somebody's gonna say something about that in the comments, I'm sure. Yep, there goes the airbrush decompressor clicking on. Okay. Yeah, that looks a lot better than I thought it did. Yeah. Actually, the shade that I was really hoping for. Like I said, it's been a while since I've used some of these, so I'm kind of just trying to readjust as I go. And I'm going very slowly here. The last thing I want to do is end up with splotches or anything like that. Okay, so there, we got that done. And do the head. And yes, I realize I'm going to have to color over part of this because of the hair, but it's going to be a lot easier for me to do this coloring all than it's going to be to do anything with like the darker shades here, trying to over that. With this, I can just mask over and it's no big deal. That looks wonderful. Yep, wait, I got one little splotch right there. Damn. That's not ideal. Now, that will actually be covered over, so I'm not worried about it too much. Adjust my PSI a little bit here. Okay, yeah, that's moving a lot slower. Okay, perfect. Maybe if it's not sitting up against the wall, it might be a little quieter. And I'm not trying to put much, if any, color at all on the wrist here, just because that I'm going to have to paint over later. So better if I don't get too overzealous. Okay. Get that. All right, so what I'm going to do here is just carefully grabbing that portion, switch to this side, because it's going to make it easier to get you in between this crook of the arm. That looks beautiful. Okay. Let's see. Are you feeling better? I know you were sick. I'm still technically sick. You can probably still hear it in my voice a little bit, but my voice is not completely crapped out on me like it was yesterday. Part of the reason why there wasn't a video today was because last night when I usually record my videos at night, and I sounded awful and I felt terrible, and my throat was just a whole mess. So it was kind of one of those, I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to be a video today. And I kind of felt bad about it. But at the same time, I'm sitting there like, yeah, I need to take time for me to recover. But then I got it this morning and I'm actually like, oh, I don't feel that bad, but I feel eh. So I just decided, in an effort to not get my coworkers sick, because nobody likes being sick, and I don't want to be that guy in the office, even though there's not that many people in there to begin with, I decided to go ahead and, just take the day off. I've got plenty of sick days. I rarely, if ever, take sick days, just because I would much rather not get behind on my work and then feel rushed later. But yeah, I was talking to my coworkers. I'm like, yeah, look, there's not going to be anything for me to do today anyway, except working with the new server access stuff, which they really don't need me there for anyway. I mean, the stuff that I have to test is minimal. So I figure I can get all that done on Monday and then still be able to tackle all my usual workload for the rest of the week without any issues. That's the idea anyway. We'll see how it works. Okay, and that looks dandy. Got the neckline there. I don't need to get all the way back here because that's going to be mostly covered up anyway. I'll just kind of, for grins, touch that up a little bit. Oh, that's good. Anyway. Okay. So go back over the previous pieces now that they've had a chance to dry a little bit. Go back over any spots that I might have missed. Hit them with a second coat if I need to. How much do I have left in here? Oh, I'm dry. Okay. Okay. So look these over real quick. Actually, it looks really good. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think I need to go over these with a second coat. I'm gonna wait till all of them dry completely and then have a second look at it. But yeah, I'll be honest and say that looks pretty good to me. I'm gonna move these so that way they're not crowding. Okay. Brian says, I try to never take a sick day. The days that I do, the entire place decides it's time to have emergency samples. Yeah. It's always the one time where, like, whenever I need to take a sick day, because I never take sick days unless I'm like bleeding out of my eyes sick almost, or if I'm really, really just like, yeah, this is not going to happen. But that's usually the day where everything goes effing wrong. So yeah, I feel you, bud. I feel you. Adjust my microphone a little bit. So it's not like super like right in my face. All right. Well, now it's time to do the fun part, which is doing the washout, because yeah, that's always the most fun part of these kinds of things, is just having to do all the washing out of the containers and everything like that. Every time I use the airbrush, I have to wash it out between sets because you don't want color contamination, color mixing. Like, look, I know that some people are going to take that the wrong way, but there are some times where you don't want colors mixing. I'm just saying, not in that way, but shut up, Brian. I'm going to hell for that joke. I mean the paints, by the way. Just in case some YouTube Karen decides to get their panties in a wad. Oh, goodness. Oh, and while I'm thinking about it, I just remembered something I forgot to do. 1 second here. Live. Public. Monetization on. There we go. So now while I'm doing this, I'm also monetized. Rightio. Get some airbrush cleaner down in there. Thank God I finally found somebody that carries airbrush cleaner. Like, it's actually like good airbrush cleaner. It's not those like the same stuff. Because everybody's told me like, oh, just use paint thinner and stuff like that. I'm like, well, there's actually some stuff out there. It's actually legitimately like called airbrush cleaner, and that's what it's designed to do. And yeah, it has the incredible benefit of not only getting down in there and cleaning out stuff that you want gone, it also has the benefit of actually lubricating the internal parts of your airbrush and cleaning paint off of those and like breaking it up with the solvent. So kind of a important thing to do. It cleans and lubricates. Yes, I know the joke. All right. Put a little water in there. Get that off of that. And we're just going to spray the water out of here so that way no solvents are left behind. Dump the rest out. Oh, what's up, Queen? Hey, Kaiser Pineapple. Hey, y'all. What's going on, Queen? Good to see you. And now Symphony in D minor. How did I do that earlier? That was Airbrush Symphony in D minor. All right. I've got 2 cups up there. I've got one for clean water, one for washout. So any dirty water goes in there. And I love these blunt tip needles. These are like for refilling. They're usually for like refilling ink cartridges. You can kind of get some water up in there, and I can actually just spray it straight down into the airbrush to get like those hard to reach spots if I need to. Very handy to have. So next up is going to be, I think I might as well just go ahead and get the big pink parts out of the way. So the trick here is going to be that these parts I know I'm going to have to spray, and then there's going to be some additional work because I have not actually matched up the correct color yet. And so before I can even get started on that, I've got to actually do some quick color swatches and kind of see what color I want to use. I'm thinking that this is pretty much the closest that I have. So yeah, I think that's actually the closest I've got. Maybe just add a little bit more white to that. Hello? Seashell. Oh, okay. Yeah, now that I'm looking at it, yeah, these have been sitting a while. That's why they're doing that. Yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, the seashell actually looks more accurate to what I've got here. So we're gonna go ahead and try that. And for that, I'm gonna have to pop off for just a second, and I've got a couple of just empty jars over here that I've been meaning to clean out, and I forgot to do that before the stream. So I'm going to be like a dumbass and go do that right now. So hang tight. I will be right back after these messages. All right, be back. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. I had to go run and get those real quick cleaned up. So I got 3 jars here. Couple little things I got to clean off before I'm done with. I can say these are ready for new paint. Okay. Chat windows back up. There we are. There we are. Just a little bit of that stubborn old paint in the bottom of that one. Okay. Whatever's left of that's not going to cause a problem. All right. Okay. Okay, those are close enough for government work. Oh, that was not graceful at all. Practically just threw those off camera. Okay, one of my little stir sticks. Wish that I could find my actual stirring sticks. Oh, there's one. Hot damn. I've got 2 of these. I don't know where the second one went, but it's somewhere around here. But hey, this one will do. These are actually paint mixing sticks. Okay. Oh, JD fan. What better way to spend a sick day? Howdy, you all. Hey, what's going on, JD fan? All right. Yeah, I say it's a good way to spend a sick day. It's like if I've got nothing else to do, I needed time to take some time, relax, kind of get back in the groove, so to speak. It's a good day to sit back and relax and do a little bit of painting. So put some paint in there. Now I've got to remember, because this is where sometimes things get a little bit weird. Different paints react differently to different types of thinners. So I need to actually get my 2 kinds of thinner that I have. I need to actually go ahead and all right. Get a couple drops of this. Put that in there. So that's Tamiya X20 right there. Wash that out. And then this one is going to be the Creatix right in there. And then I need just a little smidge of that go in there on one side. Use the other side for a little bit of this. So what I'm looking for, okay, yep. Automatically the Creatix is out. Wow, and so is the Tamiya. Well, that sucks balls. So what I'm looking at here is that these, sometimes whatever they kind of, whatever I use, sometimes they don't react well with a certain type of acrylic thinner or paint thinner. and they kind of turn almost granular. It's hard to see in that, but yeah, almost kind of turns like a little bit of yeah, they solidify basically with what's going on there. Yeah. So, all right, both of those are out. That's unfortunate. It's the only two types of thinner I have. And I need to thin this out. And depending on the pain, it could help the sinuses and out in the better mood or put you in a better mood. Yeah. Well, even the painting itself is going to put me in a better mood anyway, but I'm actually using acrylic, not any of the not any of the fun ones. All right. Just out of completely dumbass curiosity. I doubt this will work, but you know, it's worth a shot. And yeah, it did exactly what I thought it was going to do. Oh, wait a minute. I'll be damned, it didn't. Put a little more in there, see if it actually mixes. Well, son of a bitch, it worked. Didn't expect that. Okay, you know what? I'm going to try something again because I didn't use a lot. I'm going to actually just go ahead and add it straight in here. We'll see if maybe concentration might affect it. That actually looks like it worked. Maybe I just didn't have a high enough concentration or my mix was off. Huh, it worked. All right, so we can actually use this with some X20 for the desired result. Okay. I knew that had to be wrong because, I mean, X20 mixes with just about everything. Okay. Get this shaken up. All right. This, I can go ahead and clean up because I'm not going to actually use that. That has airbrush cleaner in it, not airbrush thinner. Excuse me. Yeah, I'm still sick. I still sound a little sick. I'm just not as bad as I was. All right, that should be good. Pour some of that in here. I think that should be more than enough. Yeah, that looks like it'll do. All right. dial that back a little bit. Okay, get that on the edge there, so I'll make sure I don't smudge anything. And I didn't think I was out. I need a little more. A couple drops more of the X20 in there to kind of thin it out. Make it flow a little more freely. JD fan. I'm sick, Mom. Really am. Can't go to work today. I just feel my head. No, it was literally a situation this morning where, I got up and I just felt like crap still. And I was like, okay, do I want to go to work? Do I not want to go to work? My wife kind of looked at me and like, are you going to get up and go? I mean, we've got stuff to do today. I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to be able to do any of that. I just told her, said, look, I'm texting my boss. I'm calling off today. And she knows that I never call off. So it was kind of funny. Okay. Okay. Not sure what that was about, but all right. Okay. All right, so yeah, I'm still getting a good flow here. I'm just not really seeing it. Okay, in this light I can see. Whoops. Yeet. Hopefully I did not just ruin my paint job with getting my finger in there. No, doesn't look like I did, thank God. Otherwise I'd be mad. I am going to make one quick adjustment here because I think I'm getting a little bit of think my needle's getting a little clogged. Get it right there on the edge. Yeah, it's just a very slow, just very slow, which is actually kind of what I wanted to do in the first place. So very carefully, I need to just get up under here. Best I can do is just kind of pinch like that. So I can get the underside here. That actually looks good. There. This way it can kind of stay up off the ground and everything. Okay, let that dry. Here. Okay. Had to fix a few things there. All right. So I have these three pieces here that I also need to do in actually as part of the collar of the, as I think the jacket. Yes, that's actually the jacket. So that actually going to need to be in red. But these two pieces definitely need to be in the same pink. So because they're so small, there's not a whole lot to do. And you actually have to be more careful with small pieces like this because they color in really fast. But the other thing is that they can easily get too much color on them and they can run. They can also get little bubbles and bumps and overspray, stuff that you really don't want. So those two are actually done. So this piece right here has already had a chance to dry. So what we're going to do is I'm actually going to go ahead and get some of this stuff. This is that mask all stuff I was telling you about. Okay. And I need... get that little chunk out of there. Okay. So I don't actually want any color in this area because this is actually where parts are going to fit together, and too many layers of paint are actually going to cause those to stick. And we don't want that. And we also don't want to get paint on something we just went to all the trouble of painting, or the wrong color of paint, I should say. Spread a little bit back here. Okay. Okay. So that will actually shrink down a little bit there over time. Give that a few moments to dry a little bit. And then we'll use tape for the rest of the spots. Hey, what's going on, Fast Group? Good to see you, man. Long time no see. Good to see you, man. All right. Go. Put the lid back on that. Excuse me. Stuck home sick from work today, so figured I'd get a little painting done. While that's going on, go ahead and hit the tip of this. Oh, wait. With a little bit of cleaner and a brush just to make sure we get any excess crap off of here. That way we have a nice clean nozzle for when we're ready to spray again. I've been busy and no one invites me on anymore. That sucks, man. Sorry to hear that. Yeah, I have to admit it. See, it's kind of sad to me that the old crew has kind of drifted a little bit. I think everybody's kind of just doing their own thing now. I mean, I understand. I'm kind of doing the same thing, just doing my own thing. But yeah, I miss the good old days. I'm not gonna lie. Get this off in there. Clean that up a little bit. While we're waiting for those to dry, might as well go ahead and get our brown mixed up. So, grab the reference picture again. So the hair, the basket, the boots, all should be in about this same type of color. So we're going to have to mix up quite a bit. I see there's, kind of a very, a little bit here. So I'm just going to mix up a pretty large batch. So kind of looking at it. Okay. It's a little bit of a richer brown. I'll give it just a little bit of that. This one's got a little bit of, just a little tiny bit of gray in it. So I only just want a very, very small amount of this. Okay. Kind of going for more of a little bit of a mousy brown. I actually like that that result that I'm getting right now. Yeah, I like the way that's shaken out. I think I've got enough concentrate here. I'm going to add. Some of the X20. Shake that up a little bit. Yeah, I'm liking how that's matching up so far. Check my consistency. A little bit more thinner wouldn't hurt. Just so we can spread it over a wider surface area. So yeah, this is going to be particularly thin, so I'm going to need to definitely make multiple coats of it. But I kind of figured that was going to be the case anyway. It's kind of how I wanted it, to be honest with you. Excuse me. All right. Now, in an effort to not use on any of the major parts that I'm going to have anything going with right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to test my... Well, actually, wait. I got my airbrush full of pink right now, so I can't actually test that. Okay. How is this looking here? A couple little edges that I need to correct here. Itty bitty tiny details. There we go. Perfect. Okay, and I had a feeling that would peel up a little bit back there anyway, so I wasn't too worried about it. I just don't want too much like color getting on there, you know what I mean? get some masking tape. Cover that there. Yep. Likewise on the back. Just cover it around on there. Just want to make sure I don't get color where I don't need it. Oh, bummer. I screwed that up. You know what? There we go. Problem solved. There we go. Try to give that needle a little more play. Okay. Excellent. Got dry. Now I'm in the position of I've got extra pink in here that I don't need anymore. So part of the reason why I had it in these jars anyway, so that way if I had excess, I can just empty it right back in the jar. There we go. It wasn't a lot, but even a drop of paint covers a lot of surface area in this case. All right. A quick wash out here. Excuse me. Good grief. I know I'm sick. What do I expect? But, you know, I also try to not be a complete heathen. Some clean water. So now that we got those out of the way, let's go ahead and do our brown parts here. I just had that jar. There it is. This might almost be too thin. I might need to go back and actually add more pigment to it because I think it's too thin. I think I may have made a little oopsie there. Yeah, I can tell you right now that's going to be way too thin. Color looks good. All right. I'm not going to really worry about doing a full washout on this just because I'm going to be putting the same color back in a few minutes anyway. More of that. A little squirt of that. I decided to add just a little bit more of the darker brown because it just needs a little bit more dark to it. Just a tiny nudge. A little better. That might work. Get all that out of the needle first. Okay, yeah, that'll work. You know what? Now that I'm looking at it, the way that it's kind of spraying on there, I'm thinking it's too light. It's not dark enough. So I think I'm going to need to darken that up a little bit more. Kind of dry that up. So Kaiser, what are you building? I'm working on custom letter products, trying to finish up before tomorrow's market. Oh, that's cool, dude. Yeah, so I'm actually building this. This is actually a model kit, believe it or not. So this is like a figure model. It's a 1/6 scale. It's a video game character called Aerith Gainsborough from the game Final Fantasy VII. That's a game that I grew up with. It's over 20, 21, 22 years old at this point. And yeah, so it's classic from my childhood. And I got this one of this character a couple of years ago. I built one of another character from the same game up on my shelf. So this one is Tifa from the same video game series, Final Fantasy VII. So see if I can try and get a better angle there. Yeah, built that one a couple of years ago and was really happy with how it turned out. So decided to get another one of the other character and as they release more and more of the characters, as they release more of the builds for the characters, I'm going to be snapping those up too. I know there are 2 more that are currently out. One is in pre-order. The other one, I haven't had time to snag one yet. But yeah, I like to build models and stuff like that. So I've been one of those. It's a bit of a richer brown. We try this. Actually, second thought. This is a very dark burnt umber. Try that. Yeah, that pigment's definitely really dried up, but it's in there. And Captain Kern, hey folks, how it goes? Hey, what's going on? Pretty good. Just getting some painting done here. Checking my consistency here. I think it needs just a little bit more. Captain Kern asks, "Are you feeling better?" So a little bit. I'm not back to 100% yet, but unlike yesterday, I actually have a voice today, because yesterday I couldn't even talk. I mean, even up till last night, I couldn't even talk. So my voice recovered, thankfully, but I've still definitely got some congestion. My sinuses are still a little blocked up. I'm running on Sudafed right now, so yeah, I feel better, but I'm not better, if you know what I mean. You get the kung flu. No, thankfully not that. Thankfully this time it's just our standard everyday cold, which, funny enough, the common cold still exists. Who'd have thought? Yeah, this is definitely a lot darker than I started with, but I'm liking the consistency more now. All right. And add what I had left in there back into that. It's the same color. I just forgot to add that back in there. I'm going to end up with a surplus of this brown color, and I'm hoping that I don't end up regretting it. Add that back in there. Cap back on. So it's definitely better than it was, but I'm still getting some inconsistency. Let me adjust. Let me check my needle depth there. And then back that off just a nudge. That's better. It's still throwing globs occasionally, though. That's not ideal. And Captain Curran says, one thing with models I completely suck at painting. Yeah, remarkably, that seems to be my strength. Don't ask me how that ended up happening. Yeah, see, it's throwing globs. I don't like that. Yeah, it's throwing some globs. It's hard to see on there. Yeah, that's not ideal. Means that I've got some issues to work out with my PSI on the on there. All right, we're gonna set that aside for a minute. Then good old isopropyl alcohol. Now I can use that and test more stuff. So pop that. Oh, fudge balls. That should be fine right there. Let me also go ahead and take the cap off of this here. No nozzle. Looks good. Okay. I think I see what might be the issue. Okay. That back on there. Drop that in. Wash that off real quick. There we go. Much better. Okay. There will be additional color and stuff that I do on these bits here, but I'm just kind of getting a base coat down right now. Okay. I'll redo this one. Much better. Okay, that looks much, much better than what I thought it was going to look like. So that's very good. And with this piece here, I've already got the color mixed, so I think I might go ahead and do the back of the head so that way I can get that done. Is that 3D printed? Actually, no. These are resin molded. At least I don't think they're 3D printed, but yeah, I get these from overseas. There's a whole company that does them. They might be 3D printed for all I know. I've got some other 3D printed parts. I mean, I wonder, kind of looking at this piece right here, there you can kind of, it's hard to see on the camera. There's like those line striations. You usually would get with 3D printing, which leads me to believe it might be. But from all what I understand and what I know, it's supposedly like injection resin molding. So with the technology, it could very well be that they've upped their game since then. I just don't know for certain. All right. I'm going to need my mask all again. Okay. Yeah, for bulk stuff, that would make more sense. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and that's one of the things why I think why it's probably injection done as well, because the company that I buy these from, they take pre-orders and they actually will they essentially wait until they've got enough orders to fulfill before they'll actually do a production run of various model kits. So yeah, that kind of leads me to think that it's probably, done by injection, because the injection is a lot easier, a lot less. It's a lot easier to do mass production as opposed to like 3D printing, where you're basically just doing one at a time. And I just realized that I'm coding the wrong spot on here because I need to cover parts of the face that are going to be under the cover, not actually the hair, because I'm trying to color the hair. Good Lord. All right, well, I guess I'm going to have to wait till this dries so that way I can just peel that off, because I can't do it right now while it's wet. I'm just going to make a mess. Well, actually, that's a good point. I can pretty much call that one done for now. The only other thing I've got to do is these, which I have a red picked out. Question is, okay, yep, it's still good. I worry it might almost be a little dark, but we'll try it. That's one thing I need to correct. I don't have a lot of red colors. My 16-year-old has me printing D&D style miniatures. He modeled on half my printers. He's trying to make a new game to sell parts. Well, that's cool though, because I actually really enjoy the miniatures. And say miniatures are really interesting. I've done a few. I've actually painted a few on the channel before. But yeah, they have their own separate challenges. They kind of bring, like I said, they bring their own separate challenges to the table. But yeah, water, a little bit of that X20. So yeah, I'm not gonna really need a lot of the red, but I also don't need the red today for the most part, because I'm gonna need to make sure that these parts on the torso fit together before I. Yeah, that looks good. So these three pieces, you can't actually see them. These three pieces right here are supposed to be red, but I don't want to paint these right now, because once the torso piece is completely dry and everything like that, which it should be by now, I should be able to go ahead and unwrap this. Yep. So with that, you see that mask all just pops right off. Okay, there's still a little bit wet down in there, but that's fine. So the back of this is going to be red and whatnot, but I need to make sure this part down here stays pink. This part up here still stays the flesh tone. So what I'm probably going to end up doing is, but yeah, also you see that these pieces are supposed to fit together on the other halves of the torso. I've already done a parts fit test, and these kind of don't 100% fit together. I'm going to need to actually do a little bit of work with this stuff and like inject like the mold, like the putty stuff into the corners and cracks to try and even it out. I don't think I'm going to do that part on stream, because that particular process is very tedious. It's time consuming and it requires a lot of focus. Otherwise, you're going to totally screw it up. So I'm probably not going to do that on here today. Matter of fact, while I'm thinking about it, actually, let's go ahead and yeah, because I don't need a lot of this red. But let me go ahead and put just a little more down in there. This is Vallejo, or Vallejo, if you pronounce it correctly. Burnt red 7814. 70.814 is what the color code on there is. I have to admit, I do like this red. It's very nice. It'll make the jacket pop really nicely. And Fondai, and hey, what's going on there? I never had time to put into model building. It looks fun though. It is. And for me, it's very cathartic because I can sit here, I can just build on something. And, you know, whether I'm building on stream or off stream, I can actually sit down, I can relax, I can put something on in the background, and I can kind of just zone out while I build something with my hands. Because I'm kind of hitting that age where I'm like, I really want to work with my hands more. I want to be able to do more like things like that, just to try and keep busy. So I've always kind of enjoyed models. I just never really had put a lot of time into it until I really kind of hit my late 20s. And then, yeah, it just kind of went from there. And I've got a nice little shelf full at this point. So I've also got a backlog a mile long, so I don't know why I'm buying more model kits, but I've got like a just ridiculous backlog. I've got the car from Supernatural. I've got the Mystery Machine from Scooby-Doo that I'm doing a custom build on. And then I know that I've got a UFO. It's a mock-up of, it's a scale model mock-up of the one that allegedly Bob Lazar worked on at Area S4, if you know anything about that. So it's kind of a fun little thing that I like to do, I like to work on. But yeah, I started building a Rebel Saturn V rocket, actual like copy of Apollo 11. I got so mad with that model just because there was parts fit issues, there's quality control issues, there's all kinds of problems with it. And I just kind of hit a point where I was like, I need to get away from this model kit because it's actually pissing me off. It's like, it's not relaxing anymore to do. And so I decided to pull this one out of storage because I've had it for a while. I've had this model kit for a while. I just have not had a chance to actually sit down and build on it, and I need to. But I'll be honest, since I've sat down and started building on this one, really within the last couple of weeks, I've been like having the itch to build more again. So that kind of tells me that that model in particular just really wasn't scratching the itch for me, and I need to get back to doing what I like doing. I thought I would like that one. Turns out I didn't. Sometimes it happens. All right, we got all the stuff out of that. Put a little bit more in here so it stays nice and lubricated. All right. And I'm actually going to go ahead and put the cap back on here, because I'm actually going to go ahead and close things out, and I'm going to let these finish drying. I'm going to probably do some more work on these off stream later, but nothing too crazy. And whenever I get to the next stage, we'll pick up and do another stream with these. But yeah, I just wanted to pop on since I haven't really had a chance to do a video for today, feeling like I really needed to do something. And then also just because I wanted to hang out with all of you lovely folks out there. So, all right, folks, I'm going to go ahead and pack it in. Oh, wait, I forgot to comment here. If things are going right after October, I'll have more time to put into hobbies. Awesome. Well, here's to hoping that you, get that opportunity. Cheers. Because that's going to be really nice to be able to put in extra time to your hobbies. Anyway, all right, folks, I'm going to go ahead and peace out. I'm going to get off of here and probably just go relax, make myself some lunch or something like that later on. So I will see y'all later. Peace.